So keep it open, JJ. What was the thing you thought stood out the most tonight?
Well, our defense. I mean, you give up 50-some, whatever it was, 44 points in the paint. Our turnovers killed us all night, which led to them getting shots in transition. Thought we did a poor job contesting. I mean, again, they were 5 for 22 at the half from 3, and I think they were 14 for, my math is not good right now, but 14 for 19 in the second half. And Buzelis hit a bunch of those, and you're willing to live with a couple. And then we turned off some of the shift notices, and then the contests weren't great. You can certainly get into the technicality of it, and you can certainly get into the turnovers for us offensively and how that kind of destroyed our rhythm. But the disposition and the mentality, I don't know if we assumed because we had everybody back that it was just going to be like it was 3 weeks ago, and that's just not the way this works. I think the guys know that, and I'm not saying that's what they assumed. You'll have to ask them that. The thing that we have talked about all season long, though, is grace. And so the group inherently gets some grace for what this last 3 weeks has looked like, and it's not an excuse. It's just the nature of where a group felt very connected, and then you lose some games on the road, you have some injuries, all that stuff. You got to get reconnected, and that's where our group will get there. We, however, don't have a lot of time to do that, and it's got to be now. It can't be in a week. It can't be in 2 weeks. It's got to be now. It's got to be Monday morning in our film session, in our walkthrough for Orlando. So again, I give the group. I love my team. I love those guys. That was the worst our defense has looked, frankly, maybe all year, but certainly in the last 3 months.
To follow up on one of the things you said with LeBron, Ruby coming back, do you think there could be a collective almost, okay, that this is going to be good now, this is going to be settled, and maybe you lose some of that, not the edge, but just that, is that natural? Can you feel that once the game starts?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the word that we've used a lot, is edge, and you gotta play with an edge. And I told them this just now, and I don't think this is like a secret, so I'm comfortable sharing this. But our success this season since January has been based on our defensive disposition and our ability to defend as a team, and our individual pride on the ball, and our individual pride in doing your job with whatever it may require, a low man, a box out, a gang rebound, whatever it may require. That's going to determine our success for the next 3 weeks, and that's going to determine our success if we are able to secure a postseason berth.
With Rui missing almost 4 weeks and LeBron missing 2, whenever they got back, and you acknowledged that there just wasn't any
both those guys were out of rhythm and out of sorts.
Right, so you knew whenever that was going to happen, like there'd probably be some adjustment period. Is it better to almost have it happen, and obviously you should have your team's attention now after, everyone should recognize like we're kind of building from ground zero here, and
I think that's a good way to look at it. The ground zero part. I think you have to, again, use the reference points that we've had, but then you have to, this next 12 games, you've got to refine your way. It's a perpetually flowing river that we've all of a sudden run into a beaver's work. We've run into a beaver's work, and we gotta get the water flowing again.
And, you got Luka, you got everybody back. It's an automatic letdown subconsciously if you don't catch yourself. And that's what I saw, because this is not what I've been saying, especially on the defensive end of late. A team that just came in and set the pace early, led by Kobe White, getting even more aggressive. This is one I just hope they can just throw away. Don't focus on it too much, but I think having everybody back, you probably thought this was a guaranteed win. And when you do that, these NBA players are good, and they came in and did what they're supposed to do. They should have been aware of what they did to Sacramento, even though Sacramento's not the same team. You got to be aware of a team that's coming in hot and ready to play.
Yeah, no, I agree with Big Game. This is one of those nights where the Bulls have been playing good basketball, so they're a confident young team coming in, playing with house money, nothing to lose, not as much at risk in the standings. I don't think they're going to be able to work their way up very much, and they're not dropping out. So they're just playing night on, night in and night out to be consistent. For the Lakers, it is very difficult to explain how it's like if you're going upstairs after being out of town, and you know how you have to carry 4 pieces of luggage upstairs by yourself, and one suitcase is hitting you in the knee and the other one in the shin, and you're struggling, but you're using all of your strength to get them up there. And then all of a sudden somebody shows up and you only got to carry 1 bag up tonight. And you just, okay, that's a little easier. And you just kind of relax a little because you only have 1 suitcase to carry. And I think a lot of guys for the Lakers tonight, with everybody back in the lineup, they only brought enough strength to carry 1 suitcase tonight. And then all of a sudden the game started, and the Bulls needed you to bring 4 suitcases of strength to the game because of how well they played. And it just caught the Lakers off guard. Before they could even realize what was coming at them, they saw the ball go in the basket. They weren't missing. Their confidence was too high, and it was just too late for the Lakers to get a hold of the game by the third quarter.
What kind of suitcase we talking? More of like a carry-on?
The Lakers, we're talking about the LV. No wheels on it.
Put brand names on it now.
We're talking about the big suitcases that take a lot of work to carry up the stairs.
We needed those details.
Yeah.
I do want to come back to you on this, and then I know you can shed some light too, Big Game Fish, because as we're sitting here, even though I said disappointing, I think that's tied more so to the overall big picture expectations, because as you mentioned, Chicago and the Lakers going in 2 different directions when it comes to the end of the season. Also, you look at different numbers for LA. Where they are right now at the top, near the top of the Western Conference, obviously. They're 23-11 coming into tonight versus teams that are below 500. They've shown that they're capable in moments like this. We've seen how great they've been defensively, how well they shoot the basketball. And you sat here and said, let's not blow this one out of proportion.
Yeah, no.
Keep it into perspective.
Yeah, 82-game season. There are going to be nights like this one. Maybe not 146 points, but just not being at your best. And, again, you think about the role players for the Lakers that have really stepped up as of late, even to Jordan Goodwin and the role that he's played, much less of an opportunity tonight with everyone back. Rui Hachimura rejoining the lineup. Okay, well, what does that mean for Jared Vanderbilt? Dalton Connect completely out of the rotation tonight. So there are things like when all of these guys come back, some of the chemistry, the connection of each player, it gets disconnected a little bit. Because now I'm not as sure of what my role is tonight. I'm going to play less. I may not even play at all. And so instead of that kind of like one team, one mind, everybody together, it just gets a little disjointed in this first night back with all the guys in the lineup. They will be much better on this road trip than they were tonight.
And I imagine that's why, though there can be lessons in losses, Big Game, this is one that you're not going to sit on too long, as you mentioned.
Not this one, because I give them a lot of credit for where they brought themselves from to get to where they are. Now, if they have another game like this, then you don't want to create that kind of habit. But Fish is right. I mean, I can recall, 2 or 3 games out of 82 where you just stink it up. And, it's not because you're not playing hard. It's because you got Querim over here, you got Magic, and you got